Hey there, welcome to this week's live. I'm currently sitting in the lounge at Brisbane Airport. I've just come from Sydney and I literally have 10 minutes before my next flight because the flight on the way up here, they didn't have any pressurized air. They didn't have any pressurized air deck. And to shut down the engine, there was no one to drive the aero bridge. It was a little bit of a comedy of errors. But I am sitting here because I am on part 2 of 3 flights to get to San Diego, and I'm heading to San Diego to spend a few days business planning with my marketing coordinator, Monica, and we're also going to be attending the Digital Marketer Traffic and Conversion Conference. Yay! I'm going to hopefully get I'm hoping to get some interviews from people while I'm there, but also a whole bunch of information that you guys can use to help grow your businesses. Now, I think it's super important to make sure that you're up with what's currently trending and in your what's going on in your industry and your industry's best practice. And that's why I'm heading off to San Diego with Monica to make sure that we can bring you the latest of what's needed to grow your retail store. Now, in this digital age, and that is my flight, so I'm just going to do this really, really quickly. In this digital age, there's so many algorithms, there's new technology, higher customer expectations, and attending trade shows and conferences, that should be part of your yearly planner. Now, if you've followed me for a while, if you've listened to my podcast, or if you've ever met me in person, you know that I can talk with just about anyone about anything. In fact, I was just having a conversation with a lady in the security line who's going to be on my same flight, and she's going to a wedding. However, even I can get a little bit overwhelmed, especially when I literally know nobody in the whole conference or the whole room. And that was what happened when I hosted a show over at the NRF in Los Angeles last year. So I thought I would share some of my go-to conversation starters that you can use anywhere, anytime, and not feel like a creepy stalker. So the first one that I like to use, and I use this pretty much every single day in my life, not just in business, and it's that I always like to find something to compliment a person on. It could be their earrings, it could be how fabulous that color goes on them, or even a pen they might be writing with. In fact, the lady that I spoke to in the security line, she had a really lovely bag, and I commented on her bag. And, it's about building a connection with a complete stranger. And world-class branding expert Sally Hogshead says, people are far less likely to forget emotions than facts. So a small, sincere compliment goes a long way to creating a memorable experience rather than just looking like a desperate child in the playground searching for a buddy. Now, when I'm at a conference or an event, one of the easiest conversations that I use is simply, who are you most excited to see, or who are you excited to most hear from? And that conversation then takes on a life of its own. If the answer is on your must-see list, then you can follow it up with what you love about that person or that topic. And additionally, if that person's not on your list, then you open up a conversation of asking a little bit more about what they're teaching or what they're hoping to learn. And you can end up with a bunch of new things that are interesting and exciting that you didn't even know that you wanted to know about. At the end of the day, those networking after parties, in fact, there is one every single day at Traffic and Conversion, they can feel like way too much hard work. And after a day on your feet, you just want to flop on the hotel bed and just let your brain process everything that you've learned. But avoiding those casual events, you do so at your own peril, because it's this kind of laid back, not actually networking events that some of the best connections are made. And after the conference, I think you should go and freshen up, head back out, and you can use these conversation starters to make you not feel like a creepy stalker. First one, what was the highlight of your day today? It's an easy way to break the ice and perhaps learn something new. But remember to listen, because this is not just about you. The second one is, what was the strangest thing you saw today? The perfect opener if you're feeling a little bit flat, and you could do with a shared chuckle. And I'll admit that I'm a real fan of people watching. And in fact, I'm looking around the room right now because I can see people getting up because I do have to go in like 2 minutes. But if you're one of those people watchers that, you see people walking past, maybe talking with a partner or a friend, and you make up a story about them, if you really struggle and you like people watching, a conversation that's the start of that I love is, who do you think the luckiest person in this room is? Because you don't even have to necessarily make eye contact to begin with. You can kind of gaze out across the room and say, hey, sidelong glance, who do you think the most luckiest person in this room is? And you can continue to look out. So if you struggle with that confidence of face-to-face, try who do you think the luckiest person in the room is? And when it comes to day 2 of your conference or event, you're already going to be armed with not only a boost of confidence because you've met some new people, but also a really large handful of interesting conversations that you had the day and the evening before. And on day 2, conversation starter I have is, I had the most interesting conversation yesterday. Who was the most interesting person that you've met at the conference so far? Haha, not about you, about them. Totally not stalkery, and a genuine connection builder. Again, you might learn something new. Conferences and events are a great opportunity to take some time out from your retail store to learn new things, to create connections, and simply to have fun. The best piece of advice I can give you is to actively listen, to ask people questions that are interesting and are memorable. And the easiest way to do that is to create a connection, even if it's just for the next 15 minutes. You never know where a new conversation can take you. So with that, I have to go board my flight. I will see you at the other end in San Diego. I've got 2 more flights, Los Angeles and then San Diego. And hopefully I'll come back with I will come back with some fantastic things that are going on in America that you can use anywhere in the world to grow your retail store. See you later. Bye.